In the treacherous arena of Renaissance Italy, where popes wielded armies and marriages were weapons of war, Lucrezia Borgia became the ultimate instrument of her family's conquest. On February 7, 1502, her union with Alfonso d'Este was not a romance, but a calculated strike to dominate northern Italy. Chronicles record that the marriage was consummated 3 times that night before witnesses, to irrefutably prove her fertility and lock in the alliance, a raw display of how sexual acts served state power. This is the grim tale of the Borgias' political machinations. The Borgia family's rise was a masterclass in manipulation, beginning with Rodrigo Borgia's ascent to the papacy as Alexander. Fix eyes in 1492 through bribery and intimidation. This Spanish outsider seized the throne of St. Peter, turning the Vatican into a hub for forging alliances and crushing rivals. Italy's fragmented states, Milan, Naples, Ferrara, Venice, were ripe for conquest, with France and Spain vying for influence. To secure their foothold, the Borgias weaponized family ties, using strategic marriages to bind powerful houses and expand territorial control. Lucrezia, born April 18, 1480, to Rodrigo and his mistress Vanozza de Catane, was primed from childhood as a bargaining chip. Her beauty and education masked her role as a pawn in the power game. In 1493, at age 13, she was married to Giovanni Sforza, Lord of Pesaro, to ally with Milan's Sforza dynasty against Naples. The Vatican wedding was a spectacle of opulence, but consummation was delayed by papal decree due to her youth, a tactical move to keep options open. When alliances shifted in 1497, Alexander orchestrated an annulment, claiming non-consummation and Giovanni's impotence. This was pure political theater. Giovanni countered that they had consummated the marriage innumerable times, but under Borgia pressure and bribes, he confessed impotence, surrendering Lucrezia while retaining her dowry. The scandal unleashed propaganda storms. Giovanni spread rumors of Lucrezia's incest with her father and brother Cesare, venomous whispers designed to undermine Borgia legitimacy and rally enemies. These smears, amplified by chroniclers like Francesco Guicciardini, became tools in the broader struggle for Italian dominance. With the Sforza link severed, Alexander pivoted to Naples for a counter-alliance against French incursions. In 1498, Lucrezia wed Alfonso of Aragon, the 17-year-old illegitimate son of Naples' king, in a private Vatican ceremony on July 21st. This time, consummation was swift and undeniable, producing a son, Rodrigo, in 1499, proof of fertility that strengthened the Borgia-Aragon pact. But Cesare, Alexander's enforcer and captain general, viewed Alfonso as a liability amid shifting loyalties. On July 18, 1500, assassins stabbed Alfonso on St. Peter's steps. He lingered until August 18th, when Cesare's men strangled him in bed. This murder eliminated a rival while freeing Lucrezia for another strategic union, illustrating how personal bonds and their violent dissolution served territorial ambitions. The act cleared obstacles for Cesare's conquest of Romagna, carving a Borgia duchy from papal lands. By 1501, the Borgias aimed higher, an alliance with Ferrara's ancient Este family to legitimize their rule and gain military might against Venice and Milan. Duke Ercole d'Este resisted, wary of Lucrezia's tainted reputation from propaganda tales of incest and poison. Negotiations hinged on proving her virtue and fertility. Sexual viability as a political currency, a staggering 200,000 ducat. Dowry and territorial concessions sealed the deal. The proxy marriage in Rome on December 30th, 1501, was followed by Lucrezia's lavish procession to Ferrara, a propaganda display of Borgia wealth. The wedding on February 2nd, 1502, in Ferrara's cathedral was a triumph of political pageantry. Lucrezia in gold, flanked by nobles, symbolizing the merger of upstart Borgias with noble Estes. Yet the real consolidation occurred that night in the ducal palace. Renaissance customs demanded public proof for elite marriages. To avert disputes over heirs and alliances, witnesses, courtiers, envoys, and family escorted the couple, blessing the bed to ensure no future annulments. Under intense pressure from both families, the consummation unfolded as a ritual of power, not once but 3 times, before select observers, to demonstrate Lucrezia's fertility and Alfonso's potency irrefutably. Diplomatic dispatches from Venetian and French ambassadors detailed this invasive act, noting its shock value, a stark reminder that sexual performance was a state affair, binding Ferrara's armies to Borgia, campaigns, and extending papal control northward. Alexander rejoiced in Rome upon hearing of the vigorous union, which soon yielded heirs like Ercole II, securing dynastic continuity. This night amplified Borgia propaganda and countermeasures. The infamous banquet of chestnuts in 1501, months prior, where courtesans entertained the papal court, possibly exaggerated by enemies, fueled perceptions of depravity, weakening rivals' morale. Cesare's Romagna conquests, backed by Este troops, reshaped Italy's map, but invited foreign invasions, culminating in the 1527 sack of Rome. Lucrezia, often vilified as a seductress in anti-Borgia tracts, navigated Ferrara as a shrewd regent, managing estates and diplomacy during Alfonso's wars, transforming her image through patronage of arts like Titian and Ariosto. Yet her personal life remained a tool. Extramarital affairs, including with her brother-in-law, Francesco Gonzaga, were whispered scandals, potentially leveraged for espionage or alliances. In a cruel twist of power's game, Lucrezia outmaneuvered her manipulators. Alexander died in 1503 amid poison rumors. Cesare crumbled by 1507, dying on June 24, 1519. After childbirth, Lucrezia was hailed as Ferrara's virtuous duchess. Her wedding night's sexual ordeal underscores a brutal truth. In Renaissance politics, bodies were battlegrounds, intimacy a contract, and heirs the ultimate territory. The Borgia's legacy warns that ambition devours the personal for the sake of empire.